So
Right. All right. Right then, I'll just start.
Never had to start these things.
Welcome, Aaron. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Mature Muscle Podcast. So this is season 4, and now episode 2. So as I've chatted in the intro, having a little reach out to local businesses who are in my field to see what their secret is. So first of all, let's hear a bit about who you are and how you got into this lark.
So I'm Aaron, the owner of PTU Personal Training in Crowthorne. PTU's been in business now for like 11 years this year. Formerly we was at Pulsate, and then they decided you just couldn't PT anymore, and so we decided to set up our own gym. It's kind of a bit like, yeah, you're a racing driver, but you're not allowed to drive the cars.
Yeah.
So it's a bit weird. I guess played rugby for a long time, and then as you do, you want to play with the older guys, so you have to get bigger. And then I just stayed in the gym, loved the gym, and thought I want to help people doing it. And when you open up your own gym, it's kind of like your own little playground, so you just kind of just snowballs from there. And yeah, kind of I'm here now.
You're here, and you're still here 11 years later, which is more to the point. So you're obviously doing something right, which is exactly why I...
Or something not right. I'm decided.
Yeah. So if we had to encapsulate your training philosophy, if you like, I know that's a huge question, but how do you approach training people and yourself, really? But how do you... What's your thoughts on that? You know, if you were to bring someone in, right, this is how I want you to train.
Strength first. Strength always first. I think I live by the old you can't shoot a cannon out of a canoe. No matter if you want to get stronger,
Never heard that
fitter,
before. Never heard that
jump
before.
higher, whatever you want to do, you need to be strong doing it. And so I always, when they come in, it's always balanced and strength.
Right.
So I always train front, back, up and down, in layman's terms, and also if someone's in balance, and we'll work on the imbalances, and then we'll get them stronger.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I've always believed in strength as your asset. If you want to if you want to be more powerful, you need to be stronger. If you want to, you want to just carry all the shopping bags in because you're a man, then you have to get stronger.
Yeah.
So I always find, even I've trained like runners and cyclists, even one of my latest clients, she's, I've just hit a PB on the Peloton, I haven't been able to do that for years. Yeah, because you've never trained legs.
Yeah.
Like your leg strength and performance always correlates. So I always go strength first. That's as simple as I get.
No, that's cool. And then would you, in terms of that strength, do you follow a kind of more of a functional plan? Or by that I mean, do you bring in multi-planar stuff, or are you very much a hardcore kind of squats? Talk me about that.
I fucking hate the word functional.
Oh, I hit a nerve, sorry.
No. I just think there's a lot of spiel around like functional and this does that, and actually if you think a lot of the exercises you do anyway are going to be functional, because you give me an exercise I could pretty much relate it to something you're going to do on that day. So squat, sitting up and down, getting out of your car, going to the toilet, deadlifts, picking stuff up, putting stuff down, like there's always something.
Yeah, no.
So in the realms of people understanding that maybe go to the gym, yes, I like to think functionally.
Yeah.
But actually,
I suppose let me kind of explain what I mean. When you're talking about things like leg extensions, it's not a function. That's why I say it's not really a functional movement. You're never going to sit down and just go 15 times with your leg extension.
Unless you're trying to get a sick pump on the quads.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Sorry. So do you stay away from isolation exercises in favour of strength exercises, fundamental strength exercises?
Yeah. Like you see in the gym, we do have the leg extension, leg curl, but that's pretty much it as machines go.
Yeah.
But I guess the main reason for that is rehab, prehab.
Yeah.
But also, it's weird actually. Like just getting someone to do a hamstring curl is like the hardest thing in the world sometimes.
Yeah.
Like somebody just can't contract that muscle. So sometimes I'll use that as like like a pre-warm up to like an RDL or like a pre-warm up to a squat or a single or
almost like an activation, like
an activation.
Gotcha.
And to be fair, you can get rid of a lot of knee pain from just doing a single leg hamstring curl.
Yeah.
Like, weirdly. But yeah, I don't tend to isolate stuff, but there will be there somewhere. But it's usually like at the bottom of the program as like or it's either at the bottom of the program as a like, let's just finish that muscle off, or it's at the start of a program, let's warm it up because it's weak and we need to maybe fatigue it a little bit first or warm it up. So I don't, everything's barbell or dumbbell based. I don't really need to think you go far from there. Apart from that, obviously like lat pull downs and stuff, but you know, you can't, there's only a limited amount of back exercises you can do with a dumbbell and a barbell, otherwise you're bent over rowing all the time.
Yeah, exactly,
Or single arm rowing, so yeah.
Or suspension stuff, but even then it gets a bit samey, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and also the lat, I guess the lat pull down is with everyone, or 99% of our client base, which is general pop, they need to strengthen their back, you know, mid-lower back, upper back, because they're all hunched over. So it's a nice another way to bring them in, helps them understand the movement better, and it's easy to coach.
Yeah.
And they can go to the gym themselves and literally jump on a machine, like a lat pull down, and kind of understand it. Whereas sometimes a bent over row, you could, you know, it could be your coaching style, it could be something else, but sometimes people take a little bit longer to understand where they need to be and how to keep a neutral or a safe spine or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. What do you call it? What do you say though with that?
Just pull your shoulder blades back and down. And keep tight. Like, I guess a neutral spine is weird because no one's going to have a neutral spine and some people's spines are different. It's the same thing with the deadlifts. Like, people get all upset if you've got a rounded back, but try pulling 300 kilos without a rounded back.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as your lumbar spine isn't rounded, I think you're kind of okay. That's kind of, it's almost like, we're bang on the same page on that one. I do the same with the strength, emphasis on strength and functional strength. And as what I mean by that is non-isolation, just getting.
I also think I'm a big believer in like bang for your buck, like and especially as people don't have a lot of time. Like we train general population, fat loss and strength. Yes, I train powerlifters as well, but 99% of the people around here, like they don't want to come in and do like a side raise or I don't know, like a preacher curl for an hour or whatever, and actually go. They just want to
or any biceps.
Like they literally just want to be able to do shit they couldn't do before. So like one of my recent clients, she went on holiday somewhere and she did like a hanging trapeze thing, which she thought she'd never do, like like the circus thing.
Oh yeah.
And she was like buzzing for it, like just because we got her to like hold her body weight. She could do like push-ups, sit-ups. She could do squats, deadlifts. She could do single leg work, blah blah blah. Like we never touched a isolated machine because we don't need it. Like, and also in powerlifting, I never touched anything that was isolated. Never. Like,
I think that's one of the big misconceptions with people who don't maybe train, is that you have to train like a bodybuilder. That you have to train like with 15 different machines, 5 different sets. Working every angle is do you know what I mean? All that crap.
Every
angle. Don't even get me started. I'm the same as you on that one. But that's why you'll see people wandering around a gym looking lost because they think I don't even know which machine does what. I mean, it's whereas you could probably write down a workout with 5 exercises and say this will hit everything you need to worry about to hit this, and you're done.
I mean, I've written some workouts before with 4 or 3 exercises.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Man, that doesn't seem that long, but they're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
if you do it right.
Lo and behold, like, you're doing 5 sets of 5 or 7 10s or 10 10s or like 3 sets of heavy sets. And like, if you've warmed up properly, like, and done your weight, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
And then you, like, especially with squats, how, like, it's so tough. Or like deadlifts, or like, even if you're just going to, like, so some clients I'll add in like the rages, the little Metcon or whatever you want to call it at the end, like a weighted circuit, the old-fashioned terms, weighted circuit at the end. And literally, if you can do like your squats and a single leg exercise and a little weighted circuit, bam, you're done 45 minutes or 30 minutes. You don't have to be
trolling around for an hour and a half. Just look,
That's what I hate about powerlifters.
Like,
it isn't cool to be fat and out of breath. Like, that's not cool, bro.
Well, it's true. Yeah. It's almost like they think it goes with the territory. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you get a carte blanche.
Yeah.
No.
It sounds like you're having a heart attack.
It's got to make you a better lifter if you're fit. It's got to make you a better lifter. So I just don't get
maybe makes you. I don't know if it makes you. I don't know if it makes you better, But I guess your terms of like overall endurance of sessions is better. Like you get more out of a session. So what would take you like, I know, say an hour or an hour and a half. Like if you're unfit, it's going to take you 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, whereas actually, if you're fit enough to take like I kind of give my lifters shorter rests in training, because then when they come to comp day, the rest is going to be anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how much recovery you're going to get. But actually, if you take 15 minutes in your session, you're only mimicking the same.
Yeah.
Like, but actually, you know, you've actually recovered 3 times as much on comp day, so you're more like 3 times ready. But people don't understand that. They just think, oh, you know, I'm going to take 5-10 minutes, because science says if I take 10 minutes, I'm going to be fully recovered.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I do remember. I can't, his name's blanking on me now, but it was the guy who brought kettlebells to America and the UK from.
Oh yeah.
You've been to P, I think. You know what I mean, don't you? Not pick up a penguin.
Not Pavel.
It was Pavel someone.
Was it?
I'm sure it was. But anyway, I'll let you know later if I remember. He said that they did loads of research in Russia about the optimum rest time between sets, and it was 3 minutes, which seems like a bit of a weird one to say, really, when you think, well, everyone's different. So, you know, it's got to be dependent on your fitness level as well, your aerobic capacity. There's so many elements there. But I don't know. I tend to kind of go with that as a general rule. Try and get, strength work is get a good amount of rest. Just because I don't know if you're the same, but sometimes when you get chatting to someone, if they're a bit of a chatterbox, you can be 5 minutes in and think, shit, we've done a set for 5 minutes.
My session's over if I'm chatting.
Yeah.
I ain't working anymore.
Yeah.
I think I need to keep. I always had to try and keep switched on.
Yeah.
As soon as I get switched off, it's like, I don't know. When you're dealing with bigger weights, it's like you need to kind of stay involved.
Yes,
I think that's half the trouble with a lot of people, especially if they want to get stronger. Is like, don't get me wrong, like this weight will fucking hurt you if you don't. Like, you're not in the zone.
Yeah.
And I think that's really difficult when you're. Most people, not most people, like a lot of people could probably squat 200, but when you're going 250 to 300 to 350, like these are sort of weights. So like, if you get something wrong, something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I was a bit like, if I was never focused enough, I'd have to always try and refocus. And I was like, that's a bit of a hard thing for me to do sometimes.
I get you. Yeah.
But I hate people talking to me.
No, that's a fair point. Are you a bit of a grouch in the gym when you're training then? Let's just do it from.
Not really. I would if I ever trained on my own, I just would like. Well, the 11 years I've trained on my own or with a gym partner in here, so there's no one around anyway. Or if there is, they don't really. They're training with someone.
Yeah.
But even at like even if I trained elsewhere, I just keep my headphones in and just stick to myself.
So no, fair point.
I'm not there to make friends.
No, I'm
there to get stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I think it's that weird. Like, it's not that I don't want to. Like, I love talking to everyone.
Yeah.
But I think when you're in your mode to go, like there's only a certain amount of
go.
Yeah, go.
Before you turn it tail.
And then your brain's gone elsewhere. My brain can easily just flick off, and all of a sudden I'm like, I've got another set to do. I'm like, nah.
We should say at this point that you are an absolute beast on strength work because I got a PB at 52, which I'm delighted with.
Good.
For a 210 trap bar deadlift, right?
Nice.
Yeah, I thought so.
Good, man.
And then I saw what's yours? Go on, tell.
For trap bar.
Well, for any deadlift.
So my best deadlift's 345.
Jesus.
On a trap bar, it was a dodgy 390, I think. But it was. I tried 400 that day, but I hadn't tried it again since my deadlift got bigger. But
yeah, so that's what I mean. Double. It's taken me the whole life to get there, and you just go ahead.
Yeah, but you walk mountains for fun. It's different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Threw me a bone.
Yeah. I can walk mountains, but probably not as quick as you.
Yeah.
Or looking as good.
I don't know.
You're always out there with your photo, like, look at me, I just climbed a mountain. Yeah, right. Everyone else is dying behind you. But you're like, look at me. Just done this one.
I always wanted to be all right at a lot of things, and I'm not great at one thing, but I'm all right at quite a few things. Do you know what I mean? That's my philosophy. Anyway, from one massive subject, training, onto another massive subject. If we had to look at nutrition, again, without trying to use any of the buzzwords like
No, using they're fun.
Yeah, just
That's
like
what
you blow
winds
them
me
out of the
up.
water. You blow them out of the water. Is there a kind of approach that you have that you stick with yourself or with clients or both, or how do you? If someone comes, obviously we all know that training is one thing, nutrition in terms of weight loss is another. It's massively important. So, what's your thoughts on that?
With nutrition, with clients, it's always adapt what they do currently first. So like,
Yeah.
I'll do the old, like, it's not sexy, my fitness power, I think, and we'll adjust breakfast or we'll adjust lunch or we'll adjust dinner.
Yeah.
Because over the years, I can write diet plans till my fucking eyes bleed,
Yeah.
but nobody will follow it. They might follow it for 4 weeks, see some
Yeah.
results, and then just binge again. So
Yeah.
I think over the time, it's literally just what we do. What I tend to do now is give them a calorie target, a protein target, see what they eat, and then either just adjust breakfast, adjust lunch, just adjust one, and let them just get that habit in place, and then I'll
That's
adjust the other one.
interesting.
Like, because as soon as I found over time, as soon as you kind of like want to clean swipe everything, or you give them too much to do,
Yeah.
like even getting some people just to drink more water and maybe walk like for 20 minutes a day is hard enough.
Yeah.
And they'll give you all excuses under the sun, but I'll be like, well, until you do these things, then we'll look at your nutrition. Like,
Yeah.
because these two, you drinking more water and moving a bit more a day because you do fuck all, is going to help 10 times rather than you sorting your diet out right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, talking of science, there was a great study done on people eating really healthy, doing no exercise, and people eating like shit and doing exercise. The people that exercise got actually better blood results than the people that ate healthy. So actually, movement for us is 10 times more better than just eating healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm a believer in both has to be good.
Yeah.
But if you can't do the food or you're struggling to do the food, just make sure you do the walk or the exercise, or at least train 3 times a week, because that's going to help you build strength. And you're going to use the calories, build your strength. But with nutrition, for me, I'm just like, if I didn't have a family and a wife, I'd just eat meat all the time.
Pure
She's
carnivore.
like, where's your vegetables? It's like, I don't know, the black cow ate them.
Yeah. Just cut out the middleman.
But
So
yeah, I really like the vertical diet when I was training a lot.
Vertical, explain.
So basically, it's literally Stan Efferdin kind of like invented it as such.
Right.
So it's basically just beef, rice, bone broth, oats, and orange.
Oh wow.
Like,
Okay.
you can screw in and out of that, but I can't remember. There's a Chinese or Japanese philosophy. Basically, people that have lots of choice have struggle, and I'm a bit like that. If I just know I'm going to stick to these things, and a carrot. If I know I'm going to
Carrot, 1 carrot.
yeah, just eat a carrot, or like I just eat it while I'm making my beef. Like if I know I'm going to stick to these things, like, it's very simple for me. If I know I'm just going to stick to beef and rice, like sweet. Whereas if you start like, I think the trouble is with everyone is they want this like magical diet pill, this magical meal, this thing that tastes great. I don't want to eat that every day. Whereas like you either eat that every day and just change the spices with it, or you just try something different or learn how to cook. If you don't know how to cook, just eat that every day and get used to it. Or like stop looking for this magic like
formula
meal prep or this magic thing. Like it's okay to eat the same thing every day. Or
if you can,
or just change how with beef you have like mince, burgers. You can make sausages. You can make slow cooked beef. You can do like whatever or chicken. You can do the same with chicken. Like, but there's only a certain amount of things you can put into it to come out. But I'm very much like I like to understand what's.
They reckon we have about 10 meals that we kind of on average rotate. I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But we just rotate these 10 round. Yeah, it sounds kind of about right. But it's interesting what you said there, that sometimes too much choice is a bad thing. It's like, I think Steve Jobs used to have a wardrobe, didn't he, with just black shirts, black trousers. Yeah. And then so they know what they're wearing every day, so they have zero thought into it.
They all do. I think even like Elon Musk, like they're only black t-shirts, but like $1,000 a piece. But black t-shirt jeans, because they don't have to think about anything. I think that's the trouble, is people's thinking pattern.
Yeah.
Like,
stress yourself out over just that before you even start your day.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I'm a bit like, I'm happy just to have a steak. Like, or steak and rice, or chicken and rice. I love potatoes as well. Potatoes, like, I don't know why that got made the devil food, because potatoes is a king.
Yeah, no,
you can do everything with potatoes.
I mean, I've got to say, I'll come into what I'm doing a bit later, because I'm experimenting with the carnivore diet. Only not because I'm going in from faddy diets, but because I'm going to be doing a podcast about the carnivore diet and why some people are actually so evangelical about it. So I wanted at least to have a bit of insider knowledge going into it. So I'm doing it for about a month,
It makes you feel good.
It kind of does so far. To be honest, I go to Costco and I get Wagyu beef burgers.
Yeah, man.
They're phenomenal.
They're good, aren't they?
So I have a couple of them, and it's like 45 grams of protein each.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are insane.
And you shit less. And
Yeah,
everyone's like,
that's true.
but surely that's making me bunged up. No, it's because you're absorbing everything in that meat.
Yeah.
It's taking you time to absorb it, and you're
There's
literally
no fibre out
absorbing
of it.
it.
Yeah, there's
Like-
no fibre chucking out the other side. So.
I always find it weird. I did this one thing. Someone was like, "Oh, but you're comparing dogs to humans," but like everyone's like, "Oh, I feed my dog this raw diet, and it's amazing. They hardly poo because they absorb everything." I'm like, "Yeah, same with beef and you, bro. If your dog's allowed to have it, why can't you have it?" Like,
That's a good point.
Like I see a lot of these people like, "Oh, my dog has the best diet, and I eat fucking McDonald's." Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Maybe change your diet as well.
Well, think about what you just said.
Yeah. But actually, yeah, I'm a big believer in meat.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
well, that kind of makes sense. It's something that I've always done well on high protein, always. So
I don't
like,
even like carbs that much. Like,
no,
I love rice and I like potatoes, but apart from that, I'm literally like, I'll be happy with a steak. Like, you don't need to give me anything else, or like lamb chops or whatever. I'm just happy
amazing.
like that.
Lamb chops is my favourite. The interesting thing is that people don't realise how much nutrients is in meat, as in like vitamins, minerals. Things that you think are in veg, because people go, well, where's your vitamins?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? There's shitloads in meat. Absolute shitloads.
And then
this
you
is
get the
something.
vegans going, "Oh, you can eat that broccoli, but you need to eat like what? A
Yeah,
kilo
a
of
wheelbarrow full of it. Yeah, yeah. And so basically, what I'm going to do within the next couple of months is get someone on who's quite keyed up on the vegan, vegetarian side of nutrition. They're going to have a chat about it and put their things forward. And I've also got a guy who's on carnivore and literally knows everything.
Oh, well, I've
there
got
is
a
to
client for you if you want one for the vegan vegetarian.
know. Oh, really?
Fucking massive power lifter.
Really? And he's vegan.
Fucking jacked.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah,
please,
man.
yeah, perfect.
And he basically just put it down to his mum. His mum just somehow has the knowledge of. I've never met his mum. I keep saying I want to meet her. So he was vegan from when he was born until he was about like 15.
All right.
And now he's like, honestly, he's like 6'3", like 120.
Why did he stop
kilos.
at 15 then? Did he
I think he just wanted to add something in, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Add extras in, or maybe he thinks he started adding milk and egg. I'm not sure.
But he was a unit at 15.
Well, he's a unit now. I'm sure he was a unit at 15. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't get that big that quick.
No, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, she was just forward thinking and just knew everything and how to
How to prepare it all.
build a
Yeah,
proper
yeah,
meal
yeah.
with full amino acid profile and that
Yeah,
jazz. Like,
yeah.
and I was like, he's a good one to talk to.
Oh yeah, well, might definitely tap you up for that because I've got someone on the science side of it, but not someone on the practical side of it. So that would be perfect. Yeah. Cool. So we've chatted about the nutrition side of it. There is there. What about the good fats, bad fats bullshit? Are you how do you, if you like your meat and your potatoes and your rice, do you just get the fats you want from the meat? Is that or do you actively try and get more fat in your diet another way? Do you use like?
I always take fish oils.
Oh, you do? Cool.
Always,
Yeah, me too.
Always. I think they're so underrated for everything.
Yeah, the EPA stuff. You go big on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get anything from it, but Phil Richards fish oils are the king.
Oh yeah.
We don't get any fish burps. We sell them here.
Okay.
But
Other fish things are available.
Yeah. You can get the other crap ones if you want. But yeah, I mean, if you just look at it, like, what's it? 5 grams a day for 10 days can lower your blood pressure.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
I actually bought a book on like mental health supplements.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically like 3 cores like fatty acids and fats, and the other bit was vitamin D.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it. Like take your fish oils and or omega 3s and get your EPAs and DHAs, and have vitamin D.
Yeah.
And like I think the trouble is with everyone. The scaremongering stuff, yeah, you shouldn't have trans fat, you shouldn't have margarine and all that jazz, but if it's coming from animals, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Saturated fat you need for your brain, all that jazz.
Hormones.
Hormones. Like, your body is basically just salt and fat, like, and protein.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big believer in fish oils, I take those a lot.
That's interesting because that brings us on to the supplement side, which I was going to cover next. I do 3 grams a day of fish.
You tell that to 5, bro.
Yeah, I know. I did do 5, but it got so fucking expensive. I know what you're going to say. Look after you. It was small change really for the benefit you get.
It's one of those, to be fair, I guess, yeah, it is expensive, but I mean, you might not see much benefit. You're quite fit and healthy anyway, so you might not see much benefit from it. But
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's very hard to pinpoint, isn't it? As I'm sure you know, when you take one thing, did that help? I don't know, because when you're taking so many things, like I do vitamin D every twice. I do 2 tabs through the winter, switch down to 1 in the summer.
how much?
It's 4,000.
Double that every day.
I do. That's what I have every day. That's why
8,000 every day.
8,000. That's what I have. That's what I have.
Every
So I
day.
just have 2. Well, I'm out a lot, so I get a lot of
don't worry about
vitamin D. Okay.
Don't worry about that.
I did look at the overdose of the vitamin D though, and that did worry me a little bit.
Yeah, you get gallstones or something.
Yeah. So
You're fit and healthy anyway, and the likelihood of you getting gallstones is probably very low anyway.
Yeah, true. I mean, I do. As I said, during like six months a year, I have 8,000 I use a day, and then I dropped to 4 in the summer, but only because I got yesterday. I was 2 hours outside cycling. So
I'll have to try and find it. I can't remember his name. There's a doctor that was basically did a test on vitamin D and testosterone levels, and he was pumping it at like 20,000 IUs a day. And his testosterone was up.
Yeah.
As soon as you dropped it to like 10,000, you see it drop straight away.
really interesting.
I'll have to try and find it. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
Really cool watch. But every cell has a receptor for vitamin D, so you should take it.
Yeah, no,
And
totally
if
agree
you're
on that.
dark skinned, you should almost take double.
Yes, because you don't get it anyway, do you? Because it doesn't get through the melatonin. Yeah, that's cool. So that we're definitely on that. Now, the interesting one about creatine is lately, I don't know if you've seen, there's a lot of studies coming out how it's good for mental side as well as the physical side. Yeah, so in terms of dementia, onset of dementia, that kind of thing. So I've been, because my dad unfortunately has got Alzheimer's, which is awful to watch. So that has made me think, right, fuck, I've got to make sure I do everything I can to
So you
keep
just
this.
take like 5 grams of fish oil.
Yeah, okay, fair point. Okay, touche. All right, so I love my fish oil. But yeah, so the creatine side, I do 5 grams a day on that. And I don't know about you, but when you're out, when you're on holiday, you know, it's quite nice. People notice and they ask you shit. But the number one question I always get is, what protein do you use? And it's always fucking winds me up. Because it's like, of all the things you could ask me, that is probably the least important
Kill
one.
me now.
Yeah. So, what protein do you use? What protein?
No, my
Doesn't
favourite
fucking
one,
matter.
when I used to work at Pulsate, I used to say, well, like the Z-list celebrities when you go out in Reading, because everyone used to go to Pulsate, it was like the gym everyone went to.
Yeah.
Like, what'd you bicep kill?
Yeah.
What? What fucking question is that?
Yeah.
Like, how much do you lift, bro?
Yeah.
Don't. No, but yeah, well, protein shakes. I just say, I'll just eat chicken breast. I don't really eat protein shakes that much, to be honest.
I have them when I've got a big old day and I can't get back to the house for,
Yeah.
if I'm doing a lot of PT. I'll take a couple with me maybe, in a tub so I can mix them up.
Yeah.
But purely for, rather than relying on just for convenience.
Do you know what I really like at the moment? And I know it's blasphemy, but it's Huel ready-made milk drinks.
What about the soya though? Does that worry you a little bit? No?
You know what? I'm probably having like 1 or 2 a week. It's
Right,
like,
okay.
I have them there as like
That's okay.
like a lunchtime stop out, like because
Yeah.
I know it's got like all your vitamins and jazz in it, and it's just like some protein. I know,
Yeah.
soy. I guess I probably don't eat any other soy except from that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right then, yeah. I mean, when you said Huel, I thought you were like banging with 1 or 2 a day kind of thing.
Oh no, I have like a little. I went to Costco, got a couple of the ready-made ones.
Yeah.
Like 500 calories. I know they're good to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm in a rush, because again, I try and make stuff easy. So if it's not ready to go, sometimes I just won't eat.
Yeah.
And I realise if I'm not eating, then everything just crashes anyway.
Yeah.
But I knew
Yeah,
that.
that's-
But
yeah.
I just kind of
Don't get me wrong, that's better than nothing. I mean,
Yeah, I
for
used to
sure,
have
for
the
sure.
like the Optimum Nutrition, all that jazz. But I like Whey Isolate. I mean, I know it's a bit more expensive, but it's easier to drink.
Yeah.
But creatine, definitely get creatine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't use monohydrate though because it fucks my stomach.
Oh, does it? I don't have a problem so much with that. What do you use then? The citrine, is it?
No, Crealkaline, whichever brand's in stock at the time.
Yeah.
It's just a
Just
micronized or whatever they call it.
Right,
It's a little
okay.
bit more expensive, but it's not much more expensive. But it just
Is it? So it's not monohydrate. It's a different.
it's just creatine, but it's called Crealkaline. It's
Crealkaline,
just
okay. I'll have a look at that.
Different process, but yeah, I don't really get on with monohydrate for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Mm.
Don't know.
I'm sure you don't bother with the multivitamin mineral. Do
No, not
you
really.
look at any, like, other than vitamin D we mentioned about, which is a weird one because it's almost classed as a hormone, isn't it? It's like a bit of a grey area. It's kind of
Is
like
it?
really a vitamin. It's a bit more important than that.
Yeah, I would.
But the vitamin C I take a couple of grams a day
Yeah.
because I think it's just Why not?
Antioxidant.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. And it's cheap, and it just kind of belt and braces approach, kind of that.
Yeah.
But that's
Now for me right now is carnitine, magnesium, and ashwagandha.
right. What was the third one?
Ashwagandha.
What's that?
So it's like some sort of root.
Okay.
Basically, it's been shown to reduce cortisol, increase power.
Yeah.
I find it helps you get a bit of a deeper sleep, increase testosterone. There is studies done on it. You can see them on Examine and stuff. It's quite new. Some people are saying like, oh, 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off, blah blah blah. I've taken it for years, quite a long time. But I take that with magnesium before bed just for just to sleep. I don't struggle with sleep, but it's like puts you into a deeper sleep.
Right.
And also, if you're not dreaming enough, you're not deep enough. Like you should be dreaming like most nights.
Yeah. Well, you might be still remembering, might you, quite often?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so magnesium is one of my favourites. Does like 200 processes in the body. Without it, you're probably not going to be as optimal, especially for recovery.
I do the ZMA. I do a couple of those.
We were having a conversation this morning actually, so have a look on the back of your magnesium packet. If it's magnesium citrate, you want to stop taking it because that's a laxative and you'll shit yourself. So don't up the magnesium citronate. All the studies are on glycinate.
Oh, okay. No, mine is glycinate, to be fair.
Most of the studies are on glycinate. Most of the good supplements are glycinate.
Right.
Again, I use Phil Richards' magnesium. It's got 4 different types. They all.
Phil's a man, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's created some amazing supplements, and I've been with it years now. But the magnesium, even our clients rave about the magnesium for sleep because it's got 4 different ones. They all cross the blood-brain barrier and act different ways, and blah blah blah. But if it's like a magnesium oxide or a citrate, then you're basically just eating rust, or you're going to shit yourself. So,
neither of which are good.
Yeah, I had an argument once with someone. Like, "Oh, why is mine cheap and yours is expensive?" I was like, "Well, yours is rust and you're going to poo, and this one actually is an actual mineral from magnesium. This is the actual mineral, and it's good for you."
What's just called liquor railing, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Basically, that's how they make it. A little sweep the floor.
It's oxidization, isn't it? The white powder. That's what the oxidization is. Yeah.
But yeah, and then carnitine is really good.
Okay. And what do you get from the carnitine, or what do you think you get?
Because I have ADHD.
Right.
Everyone's got it now, so I might as well have it.
It's the disease du jour.
I feel got it, like I said, I didn't get it, but I was diagnosed 5 or 6 years ago because one of my clients was going through it, and he kind of prompted me to do it. But I found when I take the carnitine and the fish oils together, it almost gives you a little. It's almost like a double espresso, but you get the focus as well without the jitters. So it's almost so carnitine is
like a nootropic almost.
Kind of. It's more part. Carnitine is more part of the energy systems.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So how do I explain it? Basically, it helps use its fat as an energy better, but it also just helps energy levels, so you just produce energy.
Okay.
It's actually banned in cycling over 10 grams because you can't drink more than 5 grams or you shit yourself.
Right.
But if you inject it,
there's a lot of shit going on in this conversation.
If you inject it, if you take it intravenously, you can take high dose.
Oh, okay.
But it's banned in cycling over 10 grams, so that's how good it is.
Okay. Well.
But I take 3 grams a day with my fish oils.
Right. Okay.
Just for maybe not so much focus, but maybe a bit more energy, a bit more focus in that sense, because the fish oils help balance everything out.
It's weird though, the ADHD thing. You'd think the last thing you want to do is something that focuses you more, but it's one of those things that kind of would counteracts itself, isn't it?
So ADHD they say it's hyperactivity attention deficit or something, but actually you're over attentive. You're attentive to lots of different things.
Yes. Do you want to focus yourself down to one thing at a time, kind of thing?
It kind of helps, especially if you're in a slump or you just need a bit of energy midday.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's really it's really good.
Excellent. Well, that's pretty concise. Thank you for that. So if we're going back into general training now, I always like hearing about people's real success stories. Sometimes there's one that always springs to mind. You go, oh wow, that was just we blew that out of the water. It's in a client I'm talking about.
Oh, client, cool.
It could be a friend or any that you've helped train or whatever. But is there a standout one for you where you think all of these things all came together and it just worked like a treat? You can pass.
No, I have quite a few. I have quite a few, which is nice.
Yeah. You can pick one then.
I guess so most recently I started with a guy online, like 2 years ago. Then he lost loads of weight, which is sweet, like really cool. Then he started getting stronger, and then he come to we do like in-house powerlifting. Basically for anyone who just wants to do squat, bench and deadlift, you don't have to be affiliated, you don't have to wear anything special, you just turn up and rock out.
Yeah.
And he did quite well. Then he started looking, so he's like 63.
Oh wow.
So then he's decided he's going to go and enter. We started hosting IPF comps here, so British powerlifting competitions. So he entered and then got his total to enter like the British and European championships, which is cool.
Wow.
But also he got four of the records in his age and weight category. So he took all the 4 records, which is sweet. He's actually competing again in 2 weeks' time as he wants some more platform time, and then he's going to do the British at the end of the year. So hopefully he pulls it out of the bag.
Yeah.
He fucked up on the bench, but you can't win them all.
No.
Yeah, and then
That's amazing.
Yeah, for me it's just, I guess, a lot of my clients, I'm all about living today. I don't really care about living longer. I want to live today good and tomorrow good.
Yeah.
So a lot of my clients' successes is like I was saying, the lady who swung on a trapeze, and actually that woman, I kind of forced her to start her own business. She sews and creates stuff, and actually I was just kind of forcing her to do it as a part of get out your shell. You're really good at this stuff. Go and do it. So now she does market stalls and sells all her stuff on Facebook.
Oh wow, brilliant.
So that's kind of cool. Whether that's confidence.
Bit of life coach as well.
Well, I think I think when you've got a strong body, you get a strong mind, and when you're around idiots like me, I'm like, do it, man, just do it. Don't hold back. You're really good at this stuff. Do that. And then I've got a lady who had a broken back, has a fused spine. She went to the Commonwealth Championships of powerlifting. I think she did either a silver or bronze in bench and that sort of jazz. So that's really inspiring. She's writing a book about women who've kind of found weight training at 50 onwards. So she's 53 now or 54.
Amazing.
But there's God, one. Actually, I tell you what, the one I love the most is the lady who done the cross. Her husband come to train with her as well. She's he's never going to train. We went to another PT somewhere else. I won't name names, and just fucking hated it. He ain't going to stay. I was like, cool.
As long as it wasn't me.
A year later, they're still they've only just left, but for monetary reasons rather than they didn't want to carry on.
Right.
They've only just left after a year. They thought he would last a couple of weeks, but he's he's a changed man. He had. Almost I can't remember the term, brittle bones or something. And I was like, man, you need to weight train, bro.
Yeah.
So he doesn't do a lot of things because of it.
Right.
But now he's deadlifting, hex bar, split squats, walking lunges, squats, everything. And you can see it in him. He's even when he turned up, he's already warming up. He's ready to go. So I think that for me is more inspiring than I don't know,
the success story necessarily. It's just the fact that you made such a difference to someone's life.
Yeah. And they're on our page actually as a review, and I think she said or he said, "Oh, you changed my life," and that really hit.
Yeah,
that was different.
It does. I've had a few of those, and it does. There's no doubt that really gets you that when someone says something like that.
Especially when you take it from hating the gym, to really despising it, having a shit trainer, and you kind of just go, actually, it's not that bad, because I think everyone thinks we're this strict fucking thing that doesn't live out the gym. I'm sometimes I hate the gym. I want to eat everything, and I just want to live life, and I think sometimes that's quite relatable to a lot of people. They're like, oh, actually, you're just a normal guy that likes to drink and party and eat crap and go out or
I'm
go
sure
to rugby.
I'm sure you used to get this. You used to go out in town for a drink. You bump into a client and you go, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
What are you
I'm not allowed to.
Yeah, it's what do you mean? Where does it say on my contract I can't drink every now and again and get smashed if I want to? It's it was always used to almost what do you mean? Shut up! He's annoying me. But
they catch you slipping a little Twix at the garage.
What? You're hiding it behind your back or something.
Come on. I love a little Twix. They always get you when you're paying.
Who doesn't love a little Twix? Yeah.
But I think that's half the thing. I think a lot of people think we're just this different creature.
They put us on a pedestal, which we didn't ask to be put on.
Yeah, I don't want to be on.
I don't want to be on a pedestal.
No.
It's too easy to fall off.
Yeah. And everyone's always like, oh, you know, you don't understand that like it's heavy for me or like because okay, I'm pretty strong, but I was like, but actually the weights, my 100% still feels like your 100%. Like I've just been lifting longer than you. Like I don't care what you lift as long as, like for me, I always say to people, I really don't care what you lift as long as you're lifting. Like for me, that's a positive because you're doing something better for your life. So I really couldn't give a shit how much you lift. Like it means zero to me how much you lift. But actually the fact that you're lifting means more. Like the fact that you're trying to improve yourself means more to me than how much we can lift at each other. And I get that, like, oh, you know, what do you, like I never tell people what I lift because I feel uncomfortable about it. And they, you know, they're like, oh, what do you lift? I'm like, you know, probably a bit more than that. Because it doesn't matter. Like the fact that you're lifting is good to me.
Yeah, I get that, but also it's sometimes it is nice to say, well, I've done this, and then they get a bit of respect for you anyway. Not that they haven't got respect, but also you can be aspirational, inspirational, whichever. Which I'm sure you are anyway. But it's I know what you mean. It's you feel like under pressure then to talk about yourself more.
Oh yeah, I'd rather not. Who needs to?
Yeah, no, exactly. So we've talked about a success story, and it sounds like you've got bags of them. What about? See, I've got a couple of these, unfortunately. Only a couple that I can think in my head where you've had to go. You know what? I can't help you. I don't think I can help you. And I hate doing it.
I fucking love it. I fucking love that shit. Talk about give me the power.
So you've got a couple of them by the look of it.
I love the power.
Like power.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
It is nice to be able to say I'm sorry. And one of them especially was, I won't say your names or anything, but it was a lady who was very wealthy family, wanted to be a pilot, went over to the USA to do a pilot's course. While she was there, she discovered the American lifestyle, put on like 4 or 5 stone, then was literally banned from flying because her BMI was too high. I know, it's almost funny.
That's why I can't skydive.
Yeah, of course, yeah. They don't build a parachute big enough. So her parents then paid me to get weight off her, but she was just lying to me the whole time, telling me, "Oh, I'm eating this here. You put weight on. This can't be. You can't be doing it." Yes, I am. Swear to God. Blah blah blah. But she was, and then she finally admits she was eating pizzas. But you know, and then at that point, I said to her, "Look, you know, we're wasting our time here. I think you really need to have a think about it, and come back when you're ready." And she never came back. So.
Yeah, I had a few of those. My favourite one was not quite, maybe like 6 months ago. She just, you know, it's the same old with a lot of people. They're like, yeah, but this is better and that's better, and fucking Sally told me this and John told me that. And I looked her square in the eyes. I said, if you don't want to listen to me, you can leave now because I don't need clients. And she went, I was like, I don't need you. Like, I'm trying to help you here. If you don't want to listen to what I have to say or follow anything, like, that's cool, but you can leave now and I'll give you a refund. And lo and behold, within a couple of weeks, she's losing weight. But she needed me to tell her that. Because,
needed a bit of
Like I was like, but I don't know. I feel like, especially people that have a little bit of money, they go, oh, you know, here's my money. Doesn't matter what. I don't need to do anything. It's on you now.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, and actually, no. I always say to people, like, you know, it's hard work. Like, you know, if you want this result, this is what it's going to cost you. If you want this result, this is what it's going to cost you. Like, you know, you have guys come in, oh, I want a 6-pack. Okay, do you know how fucking hard that is? So it takes this much work to get a 6-pack unless you're genetically gifted. And by the looks of it, you're not. So you're going to need extra work. And they're like, what? I was like, if I was you, let's just try and get the 15% body fat and work off that. Like, because that's going to be hard enough for you to go from. Everyone was like, what's average? Average is 25 plus. Average is 25%.
How long's a piece of string? So in your age.
If you get under 20, then we'll work from there. And then actually, what I tell most people is, let's just get a % off first and see what happens. And see how hard you find to getting a % off. Then you go, oh fuck, you know, it's not as easy as people turn around like that. But yeah, I love the power on those. Like, I think there's people.
It's good to be in that position though.
When you've been around long enough, like, don't get me wrong, like at the start I would never have done that. I would have been like, oh yeah, of course, like it's definitely my fault. But now I'm a bit like, I've been here long enough to understand you're fucking lying for one. But also, I don't actually need you as a client anymore. Like I don't need you to be here. Like, so if you,
it's a nice position.
I want results. Or I don't want results. I just want you to follow these little things I've given you. If you can't do that, then, you know, just go and I'll fill the space.
No, it's brutal honesty, mate. I mean, that's fair enough. I said I've not had to do it very often, but yeah, it's awful to have to do. Well, you sound like you quite like it, but I find it just a little bit like, oh God, how do you tell someone you just basically being ejected from anything is awful.
Yeah, but that I think it's a nice. I like the power of it, but I also like the, you'll get. I think the trouble in this world is a lot of the times we don't, even with just general life, we just don't set boundaries and we don't set expectations enough.
Yeah.
And
Fair point.
If you haven't set the expectations, like it's probably again my bad. I probably didn't set an expectation on the way in, but she should just be following. Like I was checking in, You're not doing this. If you want this result, you need to do this. And then it got to the point like I tried all these steps, and then it's just like, you know what? If you don't want to do it, you can leave.
Yeah.
And that's what works. So sometimes it works, and sometimes we will leave.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some people that through the best intentions I have in the world are just almost tick over, and they make marginal gains, but they love the training. They wouldn't be without it, and it means the world to them. So and you're never going to turn them into any kind of god or goddess.
I have a couple of clients.
But you might have been training them for years, and you get like,
she moans the same thing every week,
yeah.
every month.
We all have them. We've all got them.
You kind of just settle with it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've told you this before.
Yeah.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And that's the conversation done.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing they're here for. Really is they
Yeah.
want someone to teach. They don't want to learn how to train. They just want you to train them.
Yes, exactly.
And that's where you kind of got to sit back a little bit. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do is teach Addington, like a disability school.
Oh, okay.
So there was like 6 or 7 of them, and they're mainly like Down syndrome. They kind of understood. Some of them had a little bit more than others.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing to do is just let them be.
Right.
Like, they're never going to have perfect technique because they don't understand.
No.
But also, I don't want to kill their enthusiasm.
No.
And it was amazing seeing how strong they are. But you're forever going, oh my God, he's going to hurt himself. But then after a couple of weeks, I was like, you know what? He got this. Some of them, honestly, some of the strength on some of them was just incredible. And I'm like, you need a coach. Like I even said to the teacher at the time, I was like, you need to let some of the parents know that he needs a coach because he could be either hurt himself or he's going to be really good.
Right, go either way, basically. Yeah.
You could tell one of them, all he kind of did was like push up some bench. He's quite rounded, but he was super strong and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, you kind of need to master it now while he's still got the ability to build his physique up. But it's really hard for me to just go everything you're doing is wrong, but you're really enjoying it. So let's try and do it as safe as we can.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time just to step out of it and just go, actually let them have fun. Like some of the kids had never even seen a bike before. One kid wouldn't get on the seated bike. He'd never seen a bike before.
Oh, wow.
There's some of them, the parents don't want to take them out, or they don't go out because they're I think the parents are maybe embarrassed about them, or maybe a religious thing or something like that. But it was just actually getting them in the gym and throwing the weights around because that's what they were doing. Literally, someone was picking up. I said, "What happens if they break something?" They're like, "Oh, we'll just pay for it. Don't worry. It's true. It's what it is." Yeah. But that's the hardest thing. Is actually when.
Rein it in. It's like don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in that because I used to train a few kids, and they were amazing because they were so keen.
Yeah.
They'd be dropping down to a squat so deep. Do you know what I mean? You just can't even comprehend. It's like the knees shouldn't be able to open that much, and they're just there's no technique. It's all enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And at that stage they really have to go some to hurt themselves anyway. They've got obviously the green stick bones and all that, the bendy bones, so they're not going to get hurt. But it was just amazing to watch, and you look at it and go, God, I wish I could squat like that.
Yeah.
And they
look at you and let's have more weight. And you're like,
no,
we can more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hardest things. So with clients that you get the kind of longer term, it is one of those, just to take a step back from the nutrition and the result and just understand that they're there for the training. But that's.
Staying with training, let's look at injuries. I'm fairly blessed in that I haven't had much in the way of injuries over the years myself. I got a herniated disc, but I got that when I was a dickhead and I didn't know what I was doing. Doing a straight-legged deadlift, which I cringe now even thinking about it.
You did straight legs.
I did literally straight legs. Literally straight legs. Yeah, and my spine has never been the same since. Yeah.
Amen.
I know. There you go. That was without instruction before I got any kind of guidance or anything. I was in the middle of Wales, no gyms or coaches around. Idolised Arnold Schwarzenegger like many people did, and tried to copy his stuff and got hurt. So,
you didn't copy the old Tom Platt stuff then?
No, that was.
I did that a couple of sessions with this one guy. We used to squat until the bar just hit the rack, and then you'd get out. I was fucking.
That sounds fucking horrible. I remember 20 rep squats.
Oh yeah.
That you just load it up and just do one rep till you've done 20 and then re-rack it. And yeah, about the hardest thing I've ever done that was. Mike, you know what? This is a bit of an anecdote. You know when the old school Polar heart rate monitors, yeah. Well, I used to have one of those, right? And my heart rate went the highest rate it's ever gone, ever. During a set of 20 rep squats, other than any maximal cycle, sprint, anything, doing those 20 rep squats.
I don't disbelieve that, man.
No, I had my feet up on the bench, white as a sheet. Absolutely.
When I did my first ever big squat, was 370. My heart rate was up for about a good day and a half after.
Yeah.
For a long time.
It's central nervous, isn't it? Central nervous system gets absolutely battered.
I think that's the trouble is a lot of people don't understand the nervous system, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But essentially, the more you lift, the more recovery you need. And the bigger you are, the more recovery you need. So,
and it becomes more of a systemic thing, doesn't it? It's like every fucking neuron is firing, you know? Because your body's having to dig deep into everything to move that weight, you know? Yeah. Your earlobes are fucking contributing.
I always say that, like, especially my powerlifters, you need to train your body to lift heavy.
Yes.
Like, your muscles are probably ready, but your body's not ready.
That's exactly right,
And if you need to learn to lift, your body needs to learn to strain as well. Like, if you don't learn to strain, you'll never know how to strain.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see people like, and they give up. But actually, if you learn to strain through those, for 1 rep or 2 reps over time, you just get good at learning to strain.
Yeah,
And your body can cope with that extra stress. But
injuries. Is there anything you've seen that kind of, you know, I mean, obviously deadlifting seems that lower back issues.
What I've seen.
Well, just in your experience, do you think that
my friend tore his bicep off the bone,
Ooh,
deadlifting.
Me too.
That was nice. That was awful. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I need to put it back.
Got a
I didn't see it happen. I just heard the guy scream like a pig.
Mine didn't.
With no, he didn't. He just went, "Oh, something's happened to my bicep."
Oh right.
No, this guy was. I don't know what he's benching, but yeah, he benched, and you could just heard this click, and his pec just tore straight off the bone, and he was going, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" But you just heard this like bang, and it just went straight off the bone. In rugby, I've seen quite a few, some good ones. A guy dislocated his hip, and that was bad.
But nothing you would associate with regular. What I'm kind of driving towards here is there something that you say, oh right, I avoid that because I've seen so many injuries caused by that. So one of my pet hates when I started my CrossFit in Maidenhead was snatch. I used to get a lot of grief for it because we didn't do any snatch. So I thought it was a hideous exercise to do for the general population because you know there's some people who can do it and you know that's fine. You know, but as a general rule,
that is not functional.
No, it's not.
Who's going to throw bags above their
There we
head
go.
and
There
go
we
into a
go.
deep squat?
We found a non-functional exercise. There we
but
go.
I would say that's the most unfunctional thing.
Yes, yeah, you're
Although
right.
it is the fastest movement in sport.
Yes, I appreciate all of that. I appreciate that it's a great one for developing power, explosive power, and there's a definite place for it for people who can do it. But my issue more was that it was I never programmed it for the general population because I just thought it was a recipe for fucking disaster. And there was people who used to come in and do open gym.
You spend you spend an hour trying to teach someone to overhead squat. They
Exactly.
can't overhead squat, they can't snatch.
Exactly.
And that's what people don't want to learn. It's like they don't want to learn the foundation. Like if you can't front squat with parallel elbows, you can't do a power clean. So don't do power clean.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do it?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah. But when with CrossFit, going back to CrossFit, the whole reason. Well, I used to fall out.
You're really trying to trigger me today, aren't you?
No, I know you're. I know you.
No, I love CrossFit. I love CrossFit. It's not for me.
No, there's good and bad parts of CrossFit, which is why I kind of fell out with it in a way because I still think it's a fantastic training, methodology for generally, and I love the fact that it's brought so many people into fitness that wouldn't have been in fitness, especially lifting.
Yeah,
I mean, there's women now that, especially women who would never have lifted before, but they've gone to CrossFit and now they love lifting. So for that reason, it's great. But as I said, I just don't think high repetition Olympic lifting is a great idea personally, because I just think it's too many things can go wrong. As soon as you start adding load onto that, it's just like fucking hell. You see technique just drop off a cliff. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. So I avoided snatch for that reason, because I've caused so many shoulder injuries caused by snatch.
Controversial, but kettlebell swings.
No, I don't think it's that controversial.
No one does them right.
No, you're right.
And 99% of people that I see, so general pop, their back is not strong enough to deal with the stress and the load of a swing when they start out. So don't get me wrong, like maybe in like 6 months after they can I mean, probably like for a lady, maybe squat at least half their body weight and deadlift their body weight. Like you need some sort of, that's why we're starting strength base.
Yeah.
Because you need the strength there to actually like keep the spine safe and blah, blah, blah. And I've run loads of kettlebell courses when I was at Pulse 8 and stuff, and I spend hours on just swinging.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone gets it wrong and they always think it's like a front raise, but it's not, it's a swing. It's a powerful exercise.
The shoulder shouldn't do jack. Yeah,
exactly. You shouldn't squat deep into it and blah, blah, blah. But things that I avoid. I don't, it's probably because I don't do them. Like, I don't really do stuff like that anyway, unless they're like conditioned enough. But again, it's very rare that I'm going to get someone to, like, I have a couple of clients that are good at it, like they can swing.
Yeah.
But also, again, I'm more of like a bang for your buck kind of guy.
Yeah.
So for me to teach them to swing, it's going to take half hour. So that half hour is wasted. But actually, why don't you just get like a dumbbell floor to overhead, or like a dumbbell to shoulder, or like I don't know, like a ball over the shoulder. Like you're still doing a similar movement pattern with less stress, less like horizontal like force through the spine. Like a box squat, or like even just a squat jump for most people is quite hard.
Yeah.
Like just to get them to jump onto a box is even harder. Like I thought I was good at box jumps, and I'm like, you can't even jump like a little box like that, and they're like, no, I'm so scared. I'm like, I think for me breaking it down into like kettlebell swinging isn't functional. Like if we're going to use that term, like you're never going to swing anything between your legs unless it's a blonde girl, like nice and light. But like, I'd rather than box jump or front squat, or maybe like even like a front squat with a jump. Like if you're looking to build explosive power. Yeah. But actually, my favorite exercise of all time is box squat. Like if you want to jump higher, box squat. You want to get stronger, box squat. You want to sit your back, box squat. If you want to get bigger, deeper, box squat. You want to get deeper, box squat. Yeah. Pause in the box, like wide stance, strengthen your hips. Like, and actually you'll be surprised that like people. I'm finally getting noticed when I tell people he converts. Like, so the guy that I was talking about earlier, Steve, the 63-year-old guy, I was box squatting him like his whole plan, like we never went over 140. As soon as we took the box away, he squatted 170. He's like, how did that happen? I was like, because of box squats, because you're strengthening your hips. Everyone can get out the hole. That's the easy part. It's getting out the hole. That's the easy part. The hard part. But also less stress on your lower back, less stress on your knees. You're strengthening your hips, strengthening your hamstrings.
Forces you to keep more upright, doesn't it, as well? I mean, it's
but you're also doing
that. Fixes a lot of, they call it the immature squat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that whole. You look at some people. There's hardly any knee bend. It's just massive lean forward. You know what I mean? That kind of immature shit. And I always think that's a weird way to call it something, but it's what they do call it, immature squat. But that I think the box squat fixes that almost overnight, because you can't do that. You can't lean forward when you're sitting down. You look weird.
Otherwise you're going to be eating the floor.
Exactly. You love your head between your knees, you know what I mean? So it just makes you stay upright.
My favourite thing for it is like, if you look at the pattern of a box squat, like you're pushing your hips back, so you're lengthening the hamstrings along this way. Yeah. And so if you keep your shins as vertical as you can, which is really quite difficult, and then explode from there, you're doing hip extension anyway. Yeah. So you're almost doing a kettlebell swing exercise. You're doing a jumping exercise. Yeah. But if you look at like, even I know it works, but even if you look at research on box squat converting to jump height, it's fucking wicked. Like, also your stretch reflex lasts for like up to 5 seconds, so you can sit on the box for 5 seconds and still get off.
And another thing it's amazing for, which is training mature people, like,
all the time,
the 60 plus,
especially if they feel like unsafe.
Yeah.
I'm like, That's cool. Just squat to the box.
Give him like I'll give him a 5
You know
kilo.
what? They always go, oh, I love sitting down.
Yeah. Now you got to get up again.
Yeah, you gotta do 10 reps.
10 times. Yeah. No, I've used it with name drop here, but Theresa May. She's,
Oh, here he is. Oh.
I could have just said A, yeah, but she, I could not get a squat.
What's your name again?
Could not get a squat. Yeah. But she now smashes the back squats, box squat. Sorry.
Yeah. And do you know what I think actually?
So much
for
better.
safety as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that. Like you don't get the butt wink or the flexion of the lumbar.
Don't get any of that. And it's also really, I think, it's a massive recruitment of the hamstring more than normal squat.
My squat went through the roof when I started box squatting.
Yeah.
I could box squat a lot.
Yeah.
But I box squatted a lot, like, because I'm lazy, man. People are like, wow, I'm just lazy. I just rather squat to the box and I know where to go. But yeah. But in terms of injuries for myself, knee reconstruction, collarbone still out.
Oh, is that from rugby?
Yeah, I had that reconstructed.
Oh, right, okay.
Um,
Are you all right? Are you generally pretty good now? You know, movement-wise, mobility-wise? Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I haven't climbed as much recently, but I used to climb like once or twice a week.
Okay.
Cool. And because I haven't been competing as much in powerlifting, just doing like less weights, I found my mobility's got better anyway, just doing less.
Yeah.
But I can pretty much do everything.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
Nothing stops me. But if it did stop me, then I'm sort of the type of person to like practice it.
Yeah.
Like, but actually, the weird thing I say to everyone, like as we're on training, I guess, and injuries, like the only thing that helped my knee was barefoot shoes.
Okay.
Like, I just couldn't. Also, I'm a heavy dude. Like when you squat heavy, like the cushion shoes just like. I would always last. I used to have a pair of Air Max and I burst the bubble.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened? Like, I couldn't fat. I'm like 125, bro. Well, actually, it was 135 when I was competing more. But yeah, like barefoot shoes is like the king for everything.
Absolutely.
Like, and I've run marathons barefoot as well.
Have you?
Yeah, I run two ultras and one marathon barefoot.
I didn't even know you'd done a marathon. Fuck me.
I don't
Big guy for a marathon.
So when I finished playing rugby,
I was big for a marathon.
When I finished playing rugby, I didn't really know what to do, and there's another like Japanese philosophy, and I didn't realize I did it until I read it. Like you basically just follow the road until it finishes.
Right.
So I went into like running again and running marathons, and that's where everyone laughs when I say like London's like the easiest marathon you'll ever do. Like there's people there for one.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I did Brecon to Cardiff, which is like 40 miles.
Oh, wow.
That was good. That was good fun. Like 10.5 hours. So I'm not a fast runner. I'm just like running for me is one foot in front of the other. I'm very basic when it comes to that. As long as I eat enough. So I was even running those at like 105, 110 keys. I just can't really lose. Like even when I was shredded when I was 21, I was like 95 kilos.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, so I just don't have the ability to like lose that much muscle mass.
No.
Which is nice. Yeah, then I've done the Gower Ultra.
Oh,
I was too slow on that, so I did the 27 miles.
That's hilly as fuck, wasn't it?
Mate, it's fucking brutal. Like, as I say, like London is like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So I did like the 27 miles, and then we missed like the next 5k by like I think it's like 2 minutes.
They do the Welsh Triathlon, the Welsh Ironman down there, don't they? Somewhere.
Yeah. Like
so it's one of the worst. It's one of the. It's like brutal.
It is. I mean, it's beautiful.
Tenby, that's area around there as well.
So it's like north, east, south, mid southwest. It's a Gower. It's like the first area that got awarded national beauty or something.
Yeah, the European standard or something.
Yeah, and then I did 1 day of the Jurassic Coast Ultra.
Okay.
As like a training one. I did that barefoot, and I thought I was doing good until I saw this dude come past on a pair of flip flops and a Hawaiian top. He was like, "Well done, bro." Like shit.
Flip flops.
Yeah. I nearly got a pair actually. It's I can't remember their name. They were quite expensive at the time, so I didn't bother because I really love running barefoot. Like it makes me run better.
Yeah, it does make me run better. But I don't do barefoot. It's just too. That's too hardcore.
It just takes a while, mate.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then so I was gonna do like a jungle ultra that Richard had done before, so which is like 5 days in Peru.
Yeah.
And we did the Jurassic Ultra. Like it's supposed to be 3 days back to back. I did the first day. I was done, and then had some good painkillers. I got through the second day, and the third day, like I was like, I put my hands up. I'm like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I was happy I was done. I'd gone as far as my body. Like everyone was going, "No, it's your mind, it's your mind." I was like, no, I think my body is done. Like I couldn't move. I couldn't even get out. I was like, no, I'm done. Like, but actually in my heart, I was like, I'm actually really happy now. I
I
found
think
that
you're at
point.
peace with that. That's cool.
Like,
yeah.
And then that's when I went into like powerlifting just for fun.
Right. Okay. Excellent.
But yeah, I've run before.
Let's touch on a bit of, again, just to finish off now, because I have no idea what, we've just been gassing away. It feels like about an hour, is it? Maybe more.
Yeah, you're right. No one's going to listen this far anyway.
Yeah, they're all fucking asleep by now. Longevity is something I've got really interested in lately.
Because you're old.
Yeah, exactly.
How old are you?
52.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
You look good for 52, man.
Oh, thank you, mate.
But you're thinking you're like 39.
Oh, fuck off. There's a guy called Peter Attia. I don't know whether you know him. He does a lot of podcasting. He gets very in the weeds. He gets very technical. Sometimes it's too much for me. But he brought out this book, which was God, it was brilliant. I'll recommend it if you.
It's not called Longevity, is it?
Not.
I've ordered one. Something I was just wanted to find it.
It's not called Longevity. It's oh God. I'm annoyed now because I've forgotten it. I'll have to look at it in a minute. But if you put Peter Attia on Amazon, it'll come up, and I'll know straight away.
How do you spell it?
A-T-T.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Outlive.
That's it. Fuck.
Outlive. You know what? I've got that at home, you know.
If you haven't read it, read it, mate. It's brilliant. Anyway, the reason I brought it up is because basically he breaks a lot of things down into real simple parts, but also his thing is all about medicine 2.0, which is basically try and deal with it before it happens. So it's brilliant. So he talks a lot about mental health side of it. You know, the physical part of the brain. You know, they're dealing with dementia, trying to prevent dementia, trying to prevent heart disease early on.
Yeah.
So rather than reacting to it, you know, get ahead of the game and stop it happening. You know, so that you live. I'm like you. I don't want to be at 110 in a wheelchair, drooling all over myself and shitting into a nappy. I have no interest in that. Zero. But if I can be moving around and still in the mountains at 85, 90, whatever, I'll be fucking delighted.
Do you know what? That's the one thing I always say about weight training is it's open to anyone. Like, you know, you just scale.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you might not be able to back squat 100 like you used to be able to, but just carry on and do like 60, or just do like a dumbbell front squat, or like.
Absolutely.
Like, I always think that is, you know, that's what's going to keep you like strong and longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just ordered it again because I can't remember if I've got it or not. I don't know.
You got two now.
I give it to some old bastard.
But there's a couple of ones on there that just kind of back up what we've just been talking about, and that's, he says, muscle mass is absolute key. When you lose your muscle mass, and I've seen this in my dad, unfortunately, he's so frail now. I'm just waiting for him to fall over, bless him. But so, you know, if you can keep the muscle mass on and just stop that drop off that happens, you know, as you start getting older, and you can do that with weight training, as you know, and just keeping your protein up and all that. Your expectancy and, you know, quality of life stays really high. And I just think that the more and more I hear about things now like that, the more and more it backs up what I've kind of always thought. But also, it's just nice to see, you know, so much more out there now just to back all this up. Because when you start telling people, oh, you need to lift weights, nice, you know, makes you slow, makes it doesn't fuck.
This is one of my biggest gripes with that fucking Mediterranean diet, right?
All right.
It's one of my biggest gripes, because if you actually like look to what they're doing now. Those people that live in Mediterranean areas are at the beach, they're playing bowls, they're talking to their friends, they're walking around, swimming, and or they're probably still working.
Yeah,
like, Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not, you know, yes, it's still developed, but it's not as developed as we are. Like, yes, they're getting fast food and stuff there now, but like, they're actually still living life. Like one of my clients, his mum lives in Barbados. I can't remember, she seems really young. But she's always out at the sea swimming, walking around, meeting people, talking, lifting, walking, you know, like that is not, your diet is probably really good because obviously where you live, blah, 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 but actually you're doing all the other things that actually, like, you're in a nice sunny climate, you're probably going swimming, you're, you know.
Shitloads of vitamin D.
Yeah, and you know, they always say community is like the biggest, loneliness is one of the biggest killers now. Yeah. Like loneliness, like you see all the time, like, people are just lonely, like, but I guess you know, it is kind of easier just to sit indoors, but I can't.
No, definitely
Like,
not.
but yeah, that's like one of my biggest clients. Like, but why don't they ever talk about these other protocols that these like, or how their lives actually live, rather than just
Yeah.
going, oh, you know, the fish and fats are great. Yeah, they are good, but actually, what about all the other stuff?
Yeah.
Like, talking to your mates, you know, like you go to France or anything, like all the old dudes are playing bowls with the
Yeah, or playing chess and drafts out.
and then just like chatting crap to each other.
Yeah.
They're still smoking, man, but they're still alive.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like, and they're having a good time.
Yeah.
But,
No,
yeah.
there's definitely truth to that, mate.
But also, like coming back to like bone density and stuff. Like the only way you can increase it is by weight training or heavy resistance. So
Yeah.
for you, like hill walking is
Yeah.
heavy resistance on the legs.
Yeah.
So you're going to increase it.
Just
But
with a
actually,
10 kilo pack.
if you're pre-menopausal, menopausal, or you're an older guy, you need to be doing weight training to increase
Yeah.
bone density.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that does it.
No,
Like,
no, that's right.
So it's like, you know, oh, I'm going to take this supplement, that supplement. No, supplements are not the answer.
Mm.
You need weight training or like heavy walking, like hill walking. You can't
Mm.
just walk. Yeah, walking around the block is going to be good, but if you can walk upstairs and
Mm.
like my mum always makes me laugh. She's like, oh, I got high blood pressure, so the doctor gave me these blood pressure tablets. So mum, just stop drinking and walk more.
Yeah.
But and the other day she goes, oh, my knees got better. I was like, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been walking up and down the stairs, sorting the loft out.
Yeah.
Oh, surprise, surprise! You've
Yeah.
been doing resistance training up
Yeah,
and down the
yeah.
stairs. Now you're retired, but like
Yeah.
I call them like middle class alcoholics.
Yeah, there's
Like,
loads
you
of
can't give
them.
it up. I'm like,
There's
"Mum,
loads
like,
of
you
them.
drink like a
Oh,
glass
it's
every
gin,
night.
it's gin o'clock. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus.
Like no, like yeah, it's cool. Like she's not. Well, I think she's addicted. Like she's not like she's not drinking at like 12 o'clock in the day. Like she's like
No.
has a glass at night. I'm like, Mum,
Not hiding it behind the toilet or anything.
yeah. Not like that. Next time I go for a poo, I have a glass of sherry or something. Yeah, like just have like one glass on a Friday or a Saturday. Like
Yeah.
your blood pressure will go down anyway, and
Yeah.
then just start walking. But they're in that like that
If-
day and age where the doctors told me to take these statins.
Yeah.
And that's me.
if she's anything like my mum, it's such a generational thing. It's like, you do what? You know, even the concept of deliberately tiring herself out is fucking bizarre.
No
Like,
one
I try and
needs
get.
medication with blood
No,
pressure.
it's like, I say, look, you live in a beautiful place. My parents both live in Corfu. They retired to Corfu 15 years,
Fucking hell.
18 years. Go for a walk, go walk in the mountains. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, she won't do it. And she went, I'm like, oh, it just drives me mad. And
It sounds a bit
she-
old for it now, but maybe like
Yeah, it's too
even
late
like
now.
cycling,
It's too late
right?
now. Yeah.
Like walking and cycling,
Yeah.
especially as you get older, cycling is key.
Oh,
like,
amazing, mate.
Like you think how much leg strength you build cycling,
Huge,
and
huge.
also you got the big tricep of you pumping like good,
Yeah.
good mileage.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating when there's so many open goals that are just missed like
Well,
that. You know?
it's funny when you say about supplements. I always talk to this guy called Alex, and we always talk about supplements. And he goes, you know everything. I'm like, yeah, but nobody listens. Like, that's the key. Like, no one cares.
Yeah.
One, oh, they're expensive, or oh, they, you know, I don't want to take any more tablets, or oh, da da da. I'm like, if you don't want to take tablets, then sort your diet out. And here's what you need to do to get your vitamins up. Blah blah blah. But nobody cares. Nobody listens
No.
until it's too late.
Yeah,
That's really the key. When it's too late.
yeah. No, you're right. And then it's like, oh shit, I better do something about it now. And sorry, that
Yeah,
bus got
I mean,
left.
sometimes I just take, like you say, like a multivitamin. Sometimes I have a multivitamin in my cupboard.
Mm.
And sometimes I just take it because I feel like, oh, you know, I'll take it today.
Mm.
But I always have my standard, like vitamin D, magnesium, fish oils, carnitine, like ashwagandha. I really like mushrooms now at the moment, actually. I'm really getting into those.
Yeah, I've tried a bit. I've not tried it for any length of time. I've tried
Like
one.
lion's mane is really good, man.
Yeah, lion's mane,
And
yeah.
like cordyceps, like you should try
Cordyceps.
cordyceps when you're going on like a long hike.
Yeah, no, I've done that. Yeah.
But yeah, so like I just take those as like a base.
You ever tried one of these bad boys?
Yeah, my brother's diabetic, so I borrowed his.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's interesting that I always say like my pancreas works and my liver works. Like, mine did fuck all. He just went like, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
How's yours, good?
I did a 72-hour fast, and I wanted to see what happened to my blood sugar when I did it.
Did nothing.
And
Your liver works.
just pretty much. I mean, the weird thing was, workouts spiked it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I think there's probably the gluconeogenesis going on there,
Yeah,
releasing from the liver.
Yeah.
So
Bring it back
you
to
start,
normal.
you start training, and then it would spike up as it got released into the blood, obviously, and then there's no eating involved there.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
What happens when you go in cold water? Because you do that a lot, don't you?
I do. It levels out, but you get an initial spike on that as well,
Yeah.
a little spike, but then it levels out. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I've got
Why?
a barrel at home.
Why?
I knew you were going to ask that. Well, there is a lot of science for it, but also I just find it just makes you grow a pair of balls. Because you're getting in a fucking cold river You have to man up, like, you know, I know it's probably a bit on PC now, but, you know, you have to, and I've got loads of mates now do it with me, and through the winter, we do all through the winter, and I've got a barrel at home, I had to break the ice, get in it, which was cool. That just a bit of like, you can't help it, it's just like, yeah, I'm getting in a lot of ice.
I love cold water, man.
Yeah. And it's, you know,
I'll join you one day, my budgie smugglers.
100%, mate. You're always welcome. We've got the Budgie Club, which is open to anybody in Reading, by the way.
Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, with all this crap in the river, though, that's the only thing that's put us off a little bit.
Yeah, man.
But every month we go to Taplow, and there's a guy there who's got a little sauna on the side of the lake.
Yeah,
we
man,
do. Yeah, you come with us next time. Yeah. We do 15 minutes in the sauna. We get 5 minutes in the lake, and we do that 3 times.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
I'll give you a nod next time. So you're welcome to, mate. It's really good fun.
I got the old the plunge pool thing at home.
Yeah.
I've only used it twice.
Yeah. It's a bit faff, isn't it?
I don't know. It's not the same, man.
Like, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Even when I went to Lake District, I think last year, you know, just when the sun's coming down or going up and you're in the water, and it's just like
magic.
Yeah, it's different when you're in the plunge pool in your back garden like that, and like your tits off. Like I like it, like you say. I think it grows you a pair of balls. It's all about overcoming the mind for me.
Absolutely.
Like, I understand there's loads of good science behind it, but for me, it's really just about overcoming your mind.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's probably 80% of the reason I do it. You know, the kind of.
And everyone thinks you're a badass because you're going in first. You're like, it's nothing, man. It's not even cold today.
Yeah, I got it. I think it was 1.4 or something like that was the coldest, and I got a bit of shout at that because I did it on my own because nobody else was up for it, and I went anyway. But I only did 5 minutes in there, and I got out. And
fucking mild hypothermia the rest of the day.
And I was actually all right on that. Bizarrely, I think I get a worse kind of reaction when it's warmer, but I go in longer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was in for 10 minutes at like 6.
Yeah,
and I was shaking like a shit dog.
I did that because me and my mate were staring at each other. Who's going to get out first?
Oh, really?
And we both had like this mad like cold the whole day.
Yeah.
I was like
to your bones.
When you read about it, I was like, oh, that makes sense why you don't do it so long.
Yeah.
But you know, in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah. We go to it's right near David Lloyd, so we go in there for a coffee.
Yeah.
Right, we're sat there like that. Try not to throw your coffee all over yourself, you know.
Yeah, I like it.
I shake quite a lot.
I did a lot down like Caversham Lakes for a while.
Yeah, I did, but then he got silly money. It was like I just want to get in the lake.
And they had a girl £8 not wearing a hat.
Oh yeah, no.
And I was like, but you made me buy this fucking buoyancy thing.
Yeah.
What do I need a hat for?
Yeah.
Like, and then the manager came and I was like, come on, man, like you made me buy this thing. It's like 20 quid.
Yeah.
Just to get in the damn water.
Yeah.
I can't even swim that loop.
You have to drag this stupid boy around with you.
I can't even swim that loop. I'm not even going to go deep.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, I stopped there.
The annoying thing about all that was he never had any planning permission for that. He just set it up and then.
Yeah.
So it's all gone now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's all gone.
Oh, jeez.
They just closed him down.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we better wrap it up there, mate. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. But that has been brilliant. Thank you so much for entertaining me, and you know, giving me all your lovely spiel.
That's it. Well, no one listens anyway.
Yeah, we might get a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Cheers, dude. Thanks a lot. That's been brilliant. Excellent.